Hello everyone, and welcome to the Indieheads podcast. I'm your host, Matty, aka Recon IG. On this week's podcast, we have
Dat Boy AJ with a fresh new account, u/Radmure, a little Game of Thrones joke for you.
I'm Jake, or a Cuban Foursquare.
This could be like, we could do a fucking blooper reel for just like he just keeps riffing.
It's like
on it.
there's a Mystery Science Theater 3000
Yeah.
episode where they just have all these different names for this one character, like 20 different names.
Oh god.
We could do that. I would love that.
Okay, also
Who just said that?
Yeah, who said that?
Oh, that was Ethan, user Unidan. On
Fucking Ethan.
I'm banned from Reddit for faking upvotes, I think. That's
Yeah,
Jackdaws aren't crows.
vote manipulation. Hey everyone,
Yeah.
welcome to the podcast. We haven't done one of these in like a week and a half. Sorry, we've been
Because here's why though. Here's why there hasn't been one single second of good music released since the last time we did it.
exactly. There's been nothing. No, we just we're busy and whatnot. What have I been busy with? I think I just generally just days go by and we just like don't think about it. Like, oh, we need to record a podcast this weekend, and it's like nothing happens, and it's like, oh, well, okay. Because like I said, this is not like our podcast. Again, we do this for free. We do this for fun essentially. So we try to keep to a weekly schedule. Doesn't quite happen ever, but
Papa likes to come through.
it's a vague. But also we gave you guys like 2 podcasts within like 3 days, anyways. So I mean, come on. Y'all
after
can
not
wait.
recording one for like 3 weeks.
That is true, but y'all can wait anyways. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy this week's podcast. I'm gonna see you later. No, I'm just kidding. What the fuck is going on? Okay, let's just get into
I'm
the
gonna
news.
see you later.
I'm gonna see you later.
Are we done? Is that it?
No. Okay, I'm sorry.
That was a good one.
I had no idea how to transition to the news. My brain
I'll
was
see you later.
my brain was just not there. Anyways, on to the news. First off, The Strokes. They have a new EP coming out. It's already kind of out right now. It's called Future, Present, Past. It's supposed to come out Friday, but it's kind of already out now. If you do some trickery and go to their website, they have it all streaming on Spotify there, but you can't search within it through like the Spotify app.
You do some hardcore hacking. If you're,
Yeah, you gotta do some hacking. But yeah, new Strokes EP, first release in like, how long has it been? Has it been 3 years since the last album?
4, I think.
longer.
Oh, 4?
I think it was. I think it was
I'm
2012.
looking it up. Yeah, it was 2013 actually.
Oh, huh.
I do not remember it being that recent.
Doesn't
I
feel-
actually saw the Strokes recently, or not recently, like 9 months ago now. But they were great, and that was the show they talked about their new music. I actually couldn't understand a word that came out of Julian's mouth because he talks like he's drunk all the time. So I'm
Yeah,
like, did he just say there was new music?
I saw Julian Casablancas recently. I thought I did until I realized it was just a homeless man sitting on the street corner. So
Oh god. But, no, I think he said they were going in the studio, is what they said.
Yeah. I'm the only one who's listened to the EP. 2 out of the 3 songs are good.
it's only 3 songs.
Yeah.
It's like 3 songs
Maybe
in a
I'll-
remix.
Maybe I'll
Oh.
check it out, but I don't care about the Strokes at this point. So
Let's see. What was the song you didn't like off the E EP?
Oh, it was. What was it? It was the first one, Drag Queen.
Okay, I was gonna say. Hopefully
I have
not
nothing.
Oblivious.
I have nothing against drag queens or cross-dressers, but this fucking song is just awful. You can hear the swing of the kick or the bass kick, like you can hear this whine as every time there's a bass drum hit, and it's just the most annoying thing of all. Like, and it's not a good song. Besides that, like I could ignore that if it was a good song, but that just on top of it being a mediocre to bad song, just makes me really angry. But Oblivious and Thread of Joy are really good. Thread of Joy is a very good Strokes song. Definitely reminiscent of the earlier stuff.
Shit, I should have brought that one into the music meeting and not Oblivious, because I had my music meeting yesterday for my college station, and I brought in Oblivious, and like my teacher was like, "Man, I don't like this, and it sucks because I love the Strokes." And it's like, so would the song you mentioned would be better for like an alternative station than Oblivious? Because I like Oblivious. I don't really listen to. I don't even listen to Strokes. I don't like my indie confession is that I have never listened to Is This It? Not in full.
Oh
at least.
man!
Oh, yes.
Wow,
oh man,
that's a fucking great album. Still.
Yeah. Room on Fire is also like really good too.
Yeah. Not
Like,
as good, but good.
Not as good, but I think like they definitely didn't fall off.
Yeah,
They definitely don't have one good album. Like they're not that kind of band.
And I thought Come Down Machine had some good songs on it.
I like Angles more than most people, so.
I think 50/50 is one of the best songs they put out ever. So I don't. Their first two albums are great, and the rest of the material is kind of some people. It's kind of like choose your own.
Yeah, it's take it or leave it for the most part.
Yeah.
But can we transition now? Because I just
okay.
Speaking of bands that have one good album, the Avalanches are back. They're back. They are back. They are back. They are back. The Avalanches are back. They are back. Probably, possibly tonight soon.
But AJ, I need details. What are the details, AJ? How are they back? When do they come back? I need to know.
They are premiering a song on Beats One, I think. I don't have Apple Music, so I'm not familiar with these terminologies. But Beats One, they're premiering a single that's rumored to be called Frankie Sinatra, which may or may not have Danny Brown on it. And they're going to be doing their first interview in like 15 years on the radio. And it's going to be out of control. And we are probably, possibly, maybe, actually, definitely getting a new Avalanches album soon. I think this is going to be a Radiohead situation where we get like song and we're like, holy shit, a new song from like band X, Avalanches, Radiohead. And then maybe like next week we'll get a video with an album announcement and release date. And then I think we'll have the album within 2 weeks. And you guys say something about this because I'm freaking out.
I have a question. Why do you think this is the song with Danny Brown?
Because he said like he recorded it apparently like 3 or 4 years ago, and he was like, yeah, I have a song called Frank Sinatra on the new Avalanches album.
Okay, because I knew he did the song, I just didn't remember the title.
Did you forget to mention the documentary trailer?
Yeah, I think that's bullshit. I think it's bullshit. I think it's like a it's just like a fun hype video. I don't think there's actually a documentary.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll be shocked, and I'll love it if there is.
It kind of reminds me of, I never saw the movie, but I remember the trailer for it, the Death from Above 1979 documentary that kind of like documented their breakup and why they hadn't released anything. Like that could make sense. I mean, I don't know if it's real, but it makes sense.
Okay, I say album documentary around the same time, I'd say.
Yeah, I think if there is a documentary, it'll come out around the same time as the album, and I also think it'll be fantastic. I just don't think it exists. Like, there are a few bands who would, I think, make for a more exciting subject of a documentary than the Avalanches, because like the nature of their music itself would be so interesting to see. And there are like short clips on YouTube and stuff you can find about them like crate digging and talking about sample clearance and everything like that, but just like a full-on like well-produced documentary about, I hope Since I Left You is a part of it, but like the 16-year period between albums would just be like, that would be, especially if we get the album at that point too, would be absolutely incredible to see. And the thing about this album, I sound very excited. I am very excited. The thing about this album is that I'm not going in with any maybe when I hear the single this will change, but I'm not going in with any expectations or any like.
AJ, your tone says differently. Your tone says very differently.
I'm talking like from a strictly musical perspective. I'm going into this like I'm just excited for the fact that we're getting a new Avalanches album. But like musically, I'm not really expecting it. Like I'm it's a very like surface. It's a very surface value thing where I'm like, we're getting a new Avalanches album or whatever. Like I think there is no way that this album could possibly live up to the enigma and the mystery and the hype surrounding it. I think there's absolutely no way. I think it's going to be a fine, serviceable album. If this album lives up to the 16 years of hype surrounding it, it's going to be the best album. Like bar none, it would be the best album, like probably of the decade. Holy shit! Like, but it's not. It's not going to be. But if it is, this thing is going to be out of control.
But okay, what I'm interested in is that they're not really a singles band. Like, I mean, Frontier Psychiatrist, sure, and a couple other songs on the album are like good songs, but like it's definitely an album. Like, Since I Left You is an album. It's so like the release of a single is kind of an odd thing.
Yeah, but they have a ton of confirmed collaborators for the new album, and I think it's going to sound like you can't remake Since I Left You, and I don't think they ever wanted to. I think it's going to sound like the Avalanches for sure, but I don't think it's going to be the same as Since I Left You is super. It's one of those albums that like there is literally nothing like Since I Left You, which if you haven't heard it, you're an idiot, go listen to that album. But there's literally nothing like that album from. There are albums that sound like that album, and there are albums with similar concepts, but there's no album out there that combines the Plunderphonics kind of sound, atmosphere, mood with this concept that's all tied together and like jump. Oh, it's just it's a piece of art, man. And I don't think LP2 is going to be the same kind of idea. I think it will sound the same, but there's definitely like, you know, Danny Brown, Father John Misty. I want to say like Flying Lotus, I think is confirmed to be on it and shit like that.
Different intentions are in mind with this album.
Yeah, I don't think they're approaching it from the same.
So it's going to be a country album.
Yeah, they could probably do. They could probably do that. It'd probably kick ass.
I believe it's going to be an alt country album. Yeah.
They're releasing it.
It's actually gonna be a bro country album. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be like
Florida Georgia Line every track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, they just Danny Brown dropped, Arrow Pink dropped, Father John Misty dropped, Flying Lotus,
and
don't even call them.
Florida
Georgia Line.
Singing
ring up the phones, get them in the studio right now. We'll record 16 tracks.
They're actually singing over the whole album. I bet none of them can sing, but they are all singing all over it.
I think
it's just going to be 12 remixes of Cruise.
Yeah. I think the funniest thing would be like if they came out with a single and they were like, yeah, we haven't started working on the album yet, and then put it together in like a week, and they're just like, here it is. We just took like the last 16 years off. Because like the thing about this album is, rumor has it that they've like been working on this album like as any band would work on any album for like the past 16 years, like putting it together and all that stuff, like finding all of the samples and everything, and just like, whew, ugh. Like people say it's going to change the world.
That's what Danny Brown said, at least.
That's what Danny Brown said, yes. And I trust Danny Brown. I trust Detroit.
I do too. Danny Brown has pretty great taste.
He does. He's a patrician.
Oh, can I tell you about Danny Brown? I think Danny Brown, this is my prediction that I've had for a few months now, and I still believe it. I think Danny Brown's going to have the best rap album this year. If it comes out.
I think if it comes out, I think it's pretty much a given. Yeah.
Considering how like he's been progressing and how amazing Old was. Like,
I also think Pusha T is a serious contender though too. Like, don't write off that album. I think that album's going to be something special.
Oh yeah, I haven't listened to the new single yet. The Jay-Z one.
It's good. The Jay-Z verse is like fun.
Ooh. But yeah, I need to check that out. Anyways,
we should probably move.
Get on to the next piece of news, which again we don't really want to move on to because it's really sad. So Surfer Blood, the guitarist of Surfer Blood, or I guess former guitarist, since he had to take off from the tour after they released their album last year. Thomas Fekete has died at 27 from cancer. And I'm going to pull up the thread real quick. Essentially back in like April, this is coming off from memory. So back in April, it was like April 2015, it was announced that he had a rare form of cancer and essentially had to, I think he recorded a new album with Surfer Blood, but he couldn't do the tour. I think he made an album like last year, like really late last year. I have it saved on my Spotify. Frank or McLovin, or still McLovin, the legendary still McLovin. He wrecked it to me last night because we were talking about it in a Skype call. And yeah, I'm just gonna read the GoFundMe message from Thomas Fekete's wife. Our sweet Thomas passed on last night, peacefully in his sleep, holding my hand. With one last sigh, he let go of the burden of pain and suffering that has been bravely carrying for so long. I am so full of comfort knowing that he is now free, and long for the day I get to be with him again. So that's just the first paragraph. You guys can check the thread on Indieheads or find the GoFundMe link, and that is 27 years old. I haven't listened to Surfer Blood, but 27 years old, that's fucked up. No one deserves to die at 27 years old unless you're a really terrible person. But even then, from what I've read about this guy and from what I've heard about his music and whatnot, he seemed like a really, really incredibly nice guy, a really talented musician that really, again, gone too soon. Like cancer fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck cancer.
Yeah, there's not really much to say other than just it's really sad. And Surfer Blood and their album Astro Coast, I think is what it was in particular. It was actually one of the first albums I was ever introduced to on the Indieheads subreddit. Like a few months before the Essential Album of the Week was a thing, someone tried to do something similar, like a weekly random album discussion thing. And it was like the second album they did. And I actually ended up listening to it a lot that summer. And yeah, I mean, I'm not like super familiar with them, but it's just still really sad regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just, he had a wife.
Our thoughts go out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our thoughts go out to the family and friends, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
And just again, a lot of the stuff I heard about that just fucked up. Like they had a couple of benefit concerts, like the band, and like the money got stolen by like some thieves.
Oh right,
Yeah.
right.
In New York, and I think the GoFundMe, the last time I checked, it was at like 76,000, but it's probably somewhere around like 80,000 at this point. You know, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. Cancer sucks. Well, luckily I haven't really had that many people close to my family deal with cancer, but I know like it's gonna happen. Like I know within the next 5 to 10 years that's gonna happen. Someone I know who I'm really close with is gonna get cancer, and it's gonna fucking suck to deal with. And yeah, not much to say.
Yeah, I currently have a friend who is dealing with it, and it fucking sucks, really. And like it just changes your whole world and kind of just fucks everyone around you up. And not that they should feel guilty, obviously, but it just reverberates around and like impacts the person who has it obviously the most, but it just impacts the whole community, and it fucking sucks.
So yeah, thoughts out to Thomas Fekete. Rest in peace. Hopefully, again, I think his wife said something about, hopefully you're up there with Bowie jamming, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, but God, I don't even want to make this. I was gonna make a joke, but like, man, I can't. The joke was gonna be that now for the saddest news of the week, Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris have broken up. But man, I can't even do that. That's fucked up.
Bad joke, bullshit joke alert.
Well, you added onto that joke, AJ. Okay, you were the one who made it up. I threw it on the.
We can get rid of it in post.
Yeah.
We'll get rid of it in post.
We never get rid of anything in post. That never happens. Anyways,
it's gone.
Oh god. Okay. Anyways, on to less depressing news. Let's get into what I've been listening to this week. So I'll start off. I've been listening to a bunch of stuff this week. Listened to a bunch of old fucks. First off, Scott Walker, Scott 3. Randomly, so I won't get into it too much, but like last Thursday, I went to lunch with my ex-girlfriend just to kind of catch up and whatnot, and kind of see where we are. And not much happened. Basically, I got kind of closure out of our situation, and it was cool. And I decided to listen to this album just out of complete random, just randomly. I was like, oh, I'll listen to Scott Walker. Why not? And I really enjoyed this. It's a really classic Baroque pop album. Some great tracks in here, like the intro, "It's Rain Today" is fucking incredible. 30th Century Man, that's a classic song. Rose, I think Rosemary was one I think I posted on my symbol. That's really good. But yeah, if you're looking for some nice classic Baroque pop that's probably inspired a lot of musicians, check out Scott 3. And I also listened to some other stuff from him. Like I think I listened to Scott 1, some of Scott 2, and I listened to his 2012 album Bish Bosh, which was a very interesting experience. It's always kind of funny to see some artists how they go from like when they started off, they were like, oh, they're making kind of Baroque poppy stuff, and then it's like, oh, this is fucking whacked out like experimental avant-garde shit. Like, how the fuck do you go from this to this?
Didn't he work on an album with Sons? Or not Sons? Fuck.
Sun.
Yeah,
Soused. That was
Soused.
2014.
Oh, that's the album. That's the album that came out. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Sono did a collaboration album, which is I haven't listened to, but I'm not sure if I want to because I'm not familiar with.
It's a weird one. Anything
with Sono is weird. Like you're not getting a Katy Perry album from Sono. But I would totally listen to that. I would totally listen to the drone metal version of Katy Perry.
Yeah, shout out to Katy Perry too. Get a better Twitter password.
Oh yeah, her account got hacked. OTF gang redacted. Oh god, I thought that was like, was she referencing something? But it's like, oh, I found out. Oh, she got hacked and like a song got leaked.
Yeah.
But who cares? This is the Indieheads podcast. Fuck pop music. Shouts out to Pop Heads. I modded.
Jesus Christ! What just happened?
I think pop music came crashing down on Matty.
Yeah. Anyways, but speaking of pop music, David Bowie. I listened to Black Star again. It's been a few months since I revisited it because like I said, he died, and it's kind of like that album is so like tied to his death. It's kind of hard to listen to a little bit. Like it's hard to go, oh man, you know what? I really want to listen to Black Star. Yeah, it's not like you listen to it. It's like okay, it's like emotionally, it's heavy. It's like okay.
And musically, it's
heavy too. Yeah, it's like this is a concept album essentially about him dying of cancer. Okay. Oh yeah, speaking of cancer, yeah, fucking cancer sucks. It takes Thomas Fekete, it takes Bowie, it takes Lemmy, I think, from Motorhead. Did he have cancer?
I believe so.
Yeah, cancer fucking sucks. Anyways, but Black Star does not suck. It's a great album. I think I said that this was like my album of the year 2016. I can't really say that. It's still in my top 5 though, because again, even outside of his death, like outside the context of that, which again,
it's a fantastic album.
It's a fantastic album. The production is incredible. The band that he has playing has great chemistry and works so well with his voice. And I still think Black Star, the song, was one of my favorite songs of 2015, and it's still like probably my favorite song on the album. Yeah. But and everyone talks.
I think it's kind of crazy that this is pretty much the unanimous like sub album of the year, like still pretty much. Like you go on the sub pretty much anywhere, and this is the number one for a lot of people.
Yeah,
which is like fair. I think it's a given.
Mm-hmm. It's brilliant. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about it. It's hard to like review this album. It just is. Like it just is amazing. Like
pretty much.
And not just because of the events surrounding it. Like just there's something so ethereal and otherworldly about this album, even more than his other stuff, where he literally was like playing an alien. Like this feels more than that.
It's like really spectral, like ghostly almost. His voice is just so frail, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I like spectral. That's a good word to describe it.
So yeah, David Bowie, Black Star, great album. If you haven't listened to it, what are you doing? Go listen to it. It's great. I do want to go Can't Get Everything Away. That is a great outro. I think it's a song. I feel like
God.
Everyone talked about.
Oh yeah.
Everyone talked about Lazarus as like, oh man, he was really like.
That's the one I've been harping on. Can't Give Everything Away. Like since it came out,
it's really the one that's like, oh shit, like this is.
That's the one.
This is really more. This is way more upfront than Lazarus. Because Lazarus had still some vagueness, had some like storiness to it, but like I Can't Everything Away feels like, oh, this is human, like this is for fucking real. Like I can't give everything away.
A really weird, I don't know if it's coincidence or I don't know how much of this is intentional at all or whatever, but like Brian Eno's latest album, The Ship, which is really, really good. The final song, I'm Set Free, like reminds me a lot of I Can't Give Everything Away, and like thematically sort of fits Black Star. And like Eno and Bowie were obviously big collaborators, and like they were working on stuff together before Bowie died. Like Eno posted a bunch of things about music they'd been sharing back and forth or whatever, and it's really weird to me that the final song on Eno's album that came out after Bowie died, like just listen to it, but I mean it hits me with the same kind of feelings that Can't Give Everything Away hits me with. So I wonder if it was inspired by like I don't know what the story is, and I'm not saying there is a story, but it's a very odd coincidence, and I think it's because Eno and Bowie were such good friends. But like there's you get that same somber feeling of Black Star on that song, and also Eno's album's really good. Quick shout out.
Also, I think the last song, it was like a cover of like a Velvet Underground song too. So kind of and of course like Bowie was a huge fan of Velvet Underground. Like he heard like Velvet Underground Nika before it came out and was like blown away by it. And of course, Reed passed away, like 3 years ago, and that's fucking sad. All these rock.
I still haven't gotten over that. Like,
that's not dying. Fucking hell.
I also recommend listening to Duncan Jones' interview with Chris Hardwick.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like Chris Hardwick. I personally like him, but I think when they talked about because Chris had his father pass away.
Duncan
recently.
Jones was a lot of people don't know Duncan Jones, director of Moon and now the new Warcraft movie. And, it's David Bowie's son.
And good clarification.
Oh, and
Source Code, both of which are two of my favorite modern sci-fi movies. Like amazing movie.
I just saw a tweet today that was like, I feel really bad for Duncan Jones that David Bowie died and then now everyone's like shitting all over his movie, and I'm like, yeah, that does kind of suck. Like he's having a really bad year. So shout out to Duncan Jones. Like I'm gonna.
He's also having a kid like in a week. He talked about that. But no, him and Chris had a very open or somewhat open conversation and very emotional conversation about fathers and both of their fathers passing and like what it means or to like because obviously we're mourning Bowie here, and like how does that relate to him mourning his dad? Like all these fans mourning his dad too. Like, I just highly recommend it, even if you're not a fan of Chris Hardwick, Duncan Jones, or just anything. I don't know. If you don't like anything, still listen to it.
If you're a David Bowie fan, you should listen to it.
And also, before we go on to AJ, I want to give a very quick shout out to an album I listened to this week. Daniel Brackenbury, The Middle is Far From Bad. This is like a sort of like an EP made by Reddit user 50 Bottles. Just randomly decided to check it out. Like I don't know why. I think I was on his Twitter and I was like, oh yeah, he makes music. Why don't I just check out like an album or something from him? I got nothing to do like at the college station, and oh wow, it's actually really solid. If you like Carsey Headrest, I think you'd probably like this. It's kind of lo-fi,
Cool.
Very good, indie rock stuff. Definitely worth checking out. So AJ, what'd you listen to this week?
Yeah, I also actually want to open with a quick shout out to today. I actually got around to listening to some of that Day of the Dead album, that the Grateful Dead tribute that the National put together. And I'm not a Grateful Dead fan at all. I think I've heard maybe 2 or 3 of their songs, but I think everyone here should check out at least some of this album. It's almost 6 hours long, but just look through the track list like on Spotify or iTunes or something and find the songs you want to sample and listen to, because I mean there's new music from The National, Angel Olsen, Local Natives, Bill Callahan, Stephen Malkmus, Wilco. Like there's 6 hours of really good indie rock on here, so chances are you're gonna like at least 1 or 2 of the songs. So like look for the artists you like and check this out, because I think like the songs are really good. I'm obviously not gonna sit down and listen to a 6-hour album, but good music on that thing. I want to talk about some capital R rock music is what I've been listening to lately. Starting with Pup. Dream is Over. Holy shit, this might be the most fun album I've listened to this year. This thing just like has this insane energy and this insane attitude to it. It's definitely not for everybody, and you would know by the end of the first song if this album's for you or not. The first song is called If This Tour Doesn't Kill You, I Will. And like, man, just the energy, the guitar, the lead singer's voice is really grating and abrasive, kind of like Titus Andronicus. So if you don't like Titus Andronicus, I can't recommend you listen to this. But if you do like Titus Andronicus, I definitely recommend you listen to this. And also, it's kind of like if Titus Andronicus like mashed up with beach slang really quick.
Beach House.
Made, like,
that would have been.
That would be awful. That would be awful. I'll put it out there right now. But yeah, beach slang. Titus Andronicus fans, I think, should definitely check out this Pup album. It's got really like anthemic choruses, really clever lines. He'll talk about like something like, "Oh, haha, I'm a piece of shit," and they'll be like, "Wow, that wasn't subtle." Haha. It's very self-aware, like very funny, and the closer on this album like slows it down and has like this really, really dreary, like middle America tone to it. And it reminds me of like something off of Springsteen's albums in the '80s, Pine Point. So like, if the Titus Andronicus growly, high energy guitar chanting doesn't sound appealing to you, just check out Pine Point, because like it's kind of a slower ballady type song, and it's actually really, really good. And then
I feel like I should
checked out the Pup album?
I feel like I should like it because it's a bunch of things I do like. First of all, I adore Titus Andronicus. And like it's emo, right? It like that's what it's being put under.
No, it's not. I would say it's more like post-punk than emo.
Okay. I feel like it's an album I should like. I just haven't. I've listened to like a song here and there, and a bunch of people I like it, and a bunch of people I have similar taste to like it, and everyone's saying it's similar to artists I like, but I just can't get into it. I'll give it another chance.
It flows together really well too. Like it sounds like. I mean, it's only 30 minutes. I'm loving the amount of 30-minute albums we're getting this year. I just want to throw it out there.
Yeah.
We're getting a really good slew of just short, like high-energy, consistent albums, which I really appreciate. So the Pup album's like 30 minutes of just really high-energy, great music. The next album I want to talk about is an interesting one. I don't think I haven't seen really anyone on the podcast or on the sub talk about this album, and I don't think it's the intended audience at all. The album is The Struts. Everybody Wants, or like it's technically Everybody Wants the Struts is how it kind of looks on the album cover, which is an obnoxious album cover. But have you guys heard of this band or this album?
No.
I've heard of the Struts, but I've never listened to them.
Yeah, here's the thing about the Struts. A good friend recommended them to me, and he's got like an interesting taste in music. We have some crossover, but we definitely don't really have
what?
this
Your
rock music. And the thing about the Struts. Really? Good?
Yeah. Hold on. Can you say what you just said, like, real quick again? Something about, like, you and your friend?
Oh, yeah. My friend recommended me this album, and we like some similar artists, but I wouldn't say our tastes are the same. We have places where we cross over, and he's definitely more into, like I said earlier, capital R rock, like hard rock and roll music, radio rock music. And he was going on and on about this album. He saw the band live and was just going on, and I figured, hey, I'll check it out. And like, from the first song, I was like, whoa, holy shit. Like, the thing about this album, it sounds like it's trying to be top 40 rock music, which at first freaked me out, and I was turned off because I was like, I don't like this sound. But then I kind of came to appreciate the fact that like they were trying to sound like they should be on top 40 rock radio, because music that ends up on top 40 rock radio doesn't sound like it's trying to be, because it just automatically gets there. And so they have this really weird authenticity that I think this is what people like about the 1975 that I don't. I think the Struts are the 1975 in that I appreciate the sound that they're going for, even if I don't 100% love or enjoy it, or like I don't think I should like this album. And I don't think this album might not be a good album. I enjoy listening to this album a lot. And it's pretty insane. The frontman, I forget his name right now, but he's like equally inspired by the Rolling Stones and Michael Jackson, and he has this really, really wacky bravado to all of his vocal performances. Like he rolls his R's like insane amounts of times. Like it's like you'll hear when you listen to a song, and like if you even want to listen to a song. I'm not selling this album well, and I don't think I need to. This is like a guilty pleasure album for me, but I'm really, really, really enjoying it. And it's just like goofy, good rock music. And the thing I enjoy about it the most is that none of the songs sound the same. It's all very original, even though it is all very clearly derivative of just classic rock music. And so it's an itch I haven't had scratched in a really long time. And like I think the Struts do whatever they're trying to do, which is this kind of like nostalgia bomb, 80s throwback, classic rock, hair rock sound. I don't know why I love it, but I really love it. And like, yeah, I listened to this album a lot this week, and like a lot of people won't like it, and I completely understand that, but I fucking loved it. So that's all I have to say about that album.
Nice. I will probably not listen.
Yeah, I'm never going to listen to that.
Anyways, Jake, what'd you listen to this week?
That's all I listened to this week.
Jake. I said
cool.
Jake.
I guess I will go. Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, the first album I've been listening to this week is the new Matt Elliot album, The Calm Before, which is slowly making its way to be one of my favorite albums of this year. In general, I'm a pretty big sucker for like really somber, like really dark, sad folk music. And this album kind of hits the nail on the head for all those things. It's very stripped down. It's like mostly just acoustic guitar and then Matt's super duper baritone vocals, and maybe the occasional string or piano arrangement in the background or something. Like, I think there's only some form of percussion on like 2 or 3 of the tracks. It's just very skeletal, like from an instrumental standpoint. But then when you listen to it, it actually sounds kind of lush, or I don't know if that's a good word, more like rich maybe. Like everything's just really textured. It's really beautiful. And he like double tracks his vocals on every song, which gives it a more full sound. But yeah, it's just a really gorgeous album. Definitely give it a listen if you're into like that slowcore kind of chamber folk kind of thing. I don't know if any of you guys listen to it.
Nope. No,
I'm not.
I'll check it out though.
Yeah,
I think it sounds interesting.
Speaking of folk music, AJ, remember what you said last week about the Fleet Foxes? Do you want to?
Oh boy.
So Jake,
Jake, I don't want to repeat that today.
So Jake, if you guys don't,
I don't want to talk about it.
So no. Let's see. We have to have some controversy on this podcast, okay? All right. So if you guys don't know, Jake,
I don't want to. No, hold on.
You don't want to what? You don't want to what, AJ?
Like in the span of the. This is for the people. I'm putting this out there for the people. The last 2 we recorded, like I came off just like as the bugaboo of the whole group, and I was pissed off. I was just like shitting on everything everybody loved. Like within, I think we recorded the same episodes like back to back. I came out and I shit on like Coloring Book, I shit on Fleet Foxes, and then I shit on Channel Orange, like in a 2-hour span. And I was just like, like what am I doing? Why is this happening to me? But like, yeah. That's not who I'm not a violent, confrontational person. The Fleet Foxes just aren't for me. I don't like that band, but I don't dislike people who like that band.
I'm the same way. I generally lean toward faster, more upbeat music. I mean, depressive. So you're not the only one, AJ. I don't enjoy their music. Personally.
What I meant is I don't want to come out swinging. I don't want to seem like I come out swinging at anyone who likes the Fleet Foxes. If you like the Fleet Foxes, good for you. I just don't. But that's why it's called music.
Yeah,
that's why it's called music. Yeah,
that's why they call it music.
I'm sorry, Jake, for
interrupting you. That's all right. I'll just stand by my exact polar opposite opinion over here, and
to quote the great Mark Kozlek, and hey, that's okay too.
All right.
Okay, so what else did you listen to?
Yeah, the other album I've been listening to is actually, it's just like a favorite of mine. I've only listened to it like once yesterday. I mean, not ever, but recently. Anyway, it's All Hail West Texas by the Mountain Goats, which, if you're unfamiliar, is basically the recording moniker of Don Darnielle, who's just like a singer-songwriter.
He's had a revolving door of studio and touring members over the years, but this album is just him, which is actually pretty obvious when you listen to it because it's just about as stripped down of an album as you're going to get. Like, it's just him and an acoustic guitar playing songs that were literally recorded on like a broken, deteriorating boombox. Like, the production is just horrible. It's so fuzzy and muddled under static, and it's kind of grating to get used to at first. But what keeps me, I'm not selling it really well, I just said it was one of my favorite albums. What keeps me coming back to it, though, is just the songwriting is incredible, and the storytelling, and the lyrics are just so vivid, and they can be like heartbreaking in some songs and like hilarious, and I don't know, it's just incredible to listen to him paint these like portraits of life that just sound like anecdotes, basically, yet still manage to tackle a lot of really complex and nuanced emotions, and it's a really cool album. I couldn't think of another one to throw on, so I just kind of toss it on there, even though I'd only listened to it once recently. But yeah, good stuff.
Nice.
Classic.
I think this week we're
It's
supposed
a
to
classic.
I think we're supposed to do a Tennessee FYC, but the guy who was doing it like bailed on me, and I didn't have a backup.
That's the other thing is like I haven't delved that far into the Mountain Goats discography. Like, I love this album, and Beat the Champ was one of my favorite albums of last year. That's pretty much the extent of what I've listened to from them. And since they're 2 for 2 for me, so I should probably listen to more of their stuff, but I just haven't for some reason.
Don't worry, you're not the only one who's kind of like that with certain artists, because like,
yeah.
I think who am I like? Interpol. Like, I love Toronto with the Bright Lights. Like, I listened to that recently. I was like, wow, I love this, but I have no interest in checking out anything else they've done. Even though people say like Antics is good. No. Antics is good, but
Nothing's
it's like
great.
It's like
El Pintor was really good, I thought.
I thought it was good. I don't think it was great. Like, I don't think they're just a band you really need to check out the rest of their discography. Like,
There are songs on El Pintor
Yes.
that I would say definitely check out, but like Everything Is Wrong, All the Rage Back Home, I think it's probably just the singles off of El Pintor, maybe like the ones you need to hear. But El Pintor was a pretty good album.
And they have a lot of good singles, like off of what was that album with the animal eating the other animal? Heimlich Maneuver.
Our
right?
Love to Admire.
Oh, Our Love to Admire, and the song off of that, Heimlich Maneuver, is good. Like, they have a lot of good singles throughout. Antics has that famous
Rosemary, Heaven Restores
Is it
You.
Evil?
Oh,
yeah, it's
Evil. Yes,
I was just
that's a
singing
that's a fantastic song, but the deep cuts on those albums are just not as good as
Deep cuts. There's no Stella.
No.
Oh god.
I went to Interpol with Jeremiah, and I didn't realize they were playing Stella because they didn't say at the beginning Stella was Stella was a diver and she's always down. Or what is it? Stella.
This
Stella
one's called Stella was a diver and she was always down.
Yeah, they didn't say it at the beginning, and I couldn't recognize the song until like halfway, until like he started saying Stella, like when
That's
that
how.
part.
This is an awful aside, really weird aside. That's how they play. That's how Animal Collective's been playing Alvin Rowe lately.
Yeah.
And, like when I saw them, I knew it was coming. Like because they've played it at every show this tour, and like they premiered it for the first time, whatever. So it was like big news. So when I saw them, I knew it was coming. But like even then, because like the way they do this tour is like all of the songs bleed together. Whatever. If you're an Anko fan, you like it. But like they finished one of the songs, and there was this really long outro, and there was just kind of this drony noise, and then like the part. Like the very end part of Alvin Rowe, the last like 4 minutes picked up, and my mind was just fucking like started melting. I was like, oh no way, like they done did it.
Yeah, I guess since we're kind of on the topic, I saw them live too in February, and like I had already seen, I knew that they're just gonna play the last half, which is fine, and it was awesome. But it's also kind of a bummer because the first half of Alvin Rowe is like one of my favorite halves of any song of all time ever.
Yeah, this is a weird thing to say, but like it's Alvin Rowe, so
yeah.
You got cucked by Animal Collective, Jake.
I know.
Everyone did.
Animal Collective.
Jesus Christ. Also, they released a kind of album, but that's for...
fuck off.
Okay, no, okay, here's the... I'm sorry, Ethan. Hold on. I wanted to go like on a painting with Rant, but you need to go with what you've been listening to this week.
Yeah.
I'll save it for another podcast.
The first album I listened to...
Fuck off.
I listened to Emperor Tomato Ketchup by Stereolab. God damn it. That noise. No. I've only listened to Stereolab's like greatest hits, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to their critically acclaimed album. I really enjoy everything I've heard by them, so I'm gonna listen to Emperor Tomato Ketchup, and it is fantastic. There's so much that's been said about Stereolab, and they have such a signature sound. I don't really have much to say about it, but like, yeah, if you, they're a great band who makes great weird pop music. And I don't know, it's very calming on one level, but it's also very like just interesting and detailed and lively on another. So it's just a good album to put on almost any time. I think it's a very wide ranging album and I definitely want to listen to it more times.
I listened to their like famous album recently. What's that like big famous album of theirs?
Emperor Tomato Ketchup. This is their like big album.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, hold on. Talk about something else. I'll find the one I listened to.
Okay, I'll talk about the next album I listened to, which is a bit of an odd one because it's kind of not a music album.
Isn't it Transient Random Noise Burst with Announcements? That's their big one, I thought.
No.
They're like, that cover is so... The cover's so iconic. Like, I had just seen it so many times, I was like, I need to listen to that album.
I mean, that's also, like, has a lot of good songs. I haven't listened to the full thing. And that's one of their earlier albums, I think. But Emperor Tomato Ketchup is considered, like, the album.
All right, I'll definitely check that one out then, too.
Yeah. Okay, so the second album I listened to, not technically a music album, but I put it on here anyway. It's Bill Hicks' Rant in E minor. It's a comedy album, just putting that out there. But there is music on it. And it's very different than any other comedy album because of that music, so I want to talk about it from that aspect. Basically, this is a how do you say that? Posthumous? Posthumous. Released from Bill Hicks. He died tragically young. I think he was 30 something, and it's just awful. But he released this. I read that he made notes for how this album was to be released, and it includes music by Bill Hicks, I think, in the album. And it's really interesting because he is a very angry, passionate guy, and his comedy conveys that, and he's yelling and screaming at the audience and being angry. But then it goes to this like really soft like guitar and drum music. And it's just really fascinating as a comedy album, as a concept, because it doesn't. A lot of comedy albums are just their stand up for an hour, and that's fine. I've listened to many great albums, especially recently, that are stand up. I've been listening to a lot of stand up albums, but this just kind of uses the concept of the stand up album and changes it to something different, something more ambitious, something more musical. The comedy is hilarious. The politics and the way he handles them are amazing. And admirable, and it's so brutally honest that it's like it just makes you want to be more vulnerable with people, and it just and like the whole music aspect, which I should focus on because this is a music podcast, is like just really really different and kind of changes the whole album in a way, because even though it's the majority of the album is him talking, the music just gives it such a different atmosphere than it could have, and it just kind of like makes it such a more enjoyable and interesting and detailed listening experience. And I mean, if you like comedy, definitely check this out, and I'm excited to check out his other stuff. And I know there was like a companion album to this that was released after his death too, that I'm gonna definitely check out. And if you like comedy, if you like politics, if you like music, check this out. It's a fucking fascinating listen.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. I need to listen to more stand up, because that's something that I rarely do nowadays, is watch or listen to stand up comedy. Just because I need to I need to use my Netflix. I think there's like there's a Netflix special. It's like
I think Hannibal Buress just released a new one.
Dude, I watched
Hannibal has it.
I watched that with my ex-girlfriend. It was great.
I actually haven't seen that one yet, so
I've been listening to a ton of stand-up recently because I've been working on a claymation project. And when you're in your own basement, like just slowly moving clay figures for hours on end, you're like, I don't want to listen to music. I want to listen to something a bit more like that'll get me into it, a bit more of a story to it, a bit more like something that'll distract me a little bit more.
When I do claymation, I listen to a lot of InfoWars with Alex Jones.
Yeah. Oh,
that was just an awful joke. I'm really sorry.
Jesus Christ! It took me a second to remember who Alex Jones was, and I'm just like, oh fuck, god damn it, that guy. I try to pretend that he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
No, I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of stand-up, because it's a bit more engaging for me than music. I mean, as much as I love music, obviously, because I'm on a fucking music podcast, like I want something a bit more distracting when I'm down there. So I've been listening to a ton of stand-up.
See, you guys don't know this, but we see the real Ethan in the chat, and he hates music. He fucking hates it. He hates it every day.
Yeah, that's guys. Shh! Don't tell anyone that. No, I have been listening to a ton of stand, and there's. I don't think people realize is that Spotify has a ton of stand-up on it, and there's a ton of great stuff.
You know what else there is on Spotify? Like that's really strange to me. There's like audiobooks, and like language tutorials. You can get a good grasp on like basic stuff for a language like on Spotify. Like you
have a bunch of Kurt Vonnegut books too. It's pretty awesome.
Oh wow!
Shout out to Spotify. Fuck Apple Music is what I have to say.
But like tons of comedy albums. What are some other good ones I listen to? I listen to Dan Mintz's album. He's hilarious. Eugene Merman. I listen to Stephen Wright. I Have a Pony. Classic, amazing album. I listen to so much. Todd Glass, Todd Barry, Dimitri Martin. I've been listening to a lot of comedy albums. But yeah, check that out on Spotify, and definitely check out Bill Hicks' Rant in E minor. It's a classic, and I understand why now.
Nice.
But let's move on to our next topic.
Our main topic. I'm legitimately surprised no one spoiled the main topic. Like, it always happens. Like it always happens. Someone's gonna spoil the main topic, but we've kept it a complete secret this entire time. I'm proud.
It's a good one.
I'm proud. Anyways, so our main topic tonight is the song of the summer. What is each of our song of the summer and our songs of the summer, we should say, as we have a main one, then some runner-ups. So yeah. Before we go on, yes, there will be a playlist of this in the description where we're gonna have all the songs that we mentioned here. We might add a couple more.
Tunes.
We might add a couple more.
I can also include my comedy playlist, Ethan's personal comedy album playlist, because I have like 1,000. I have like at least 50 in a playlist, but we won't include it because this is a music podcast. We're talking about music. Stop it, Ethan.
Mm-hmm. So
I hate music.
Goddamn. Okay, so I'll start off with my picks. So my first pick. So this is my song of the summer, Anderson .Paak, Am I Wrong, featuring Schoolboy Q. So I should mention that the rules for the song of the summer is that we said that it has to come out within the last year. So
not even within the last year. Calendar year 2016.
Bat Dogs Minneapolis from 1997 is the song of the summer for 2016 because it's one of the best pop rock songs of all time, and they are in the studio right now, and they are releasing an album this year most likely, and so it's the perfect timing for Minneapolis by Bat Dog to come back and rule the radio waves, rule the Spotify waves, rule the brain waves, everything. Bat Dog Minneapolis is one of the best songs ever made, and it deserves to be the song of the summer for 2016, even though it was made in 1997.
I feel like that was fair.
That is so rude, Ethan. You just interrupted me while I was trying to explain the rules of the song of summer. But fine. Okay, at least you got it out of the way. You got it out of your system, Ethan.
You hadn't explained the rules yet.
So the rules.
So explain the rules. And that won't happen
the rules are that it has to come out within the last year. So some 2015 songs count as long as they came out before.
Wait, I did not realize that.
I said within the year, so within the last year.
Okay.
So some 2015 stuff counts, which is my first song. Wrong. It came out in like November 2015. However,
so this is just a rule so you can get your song.
No, I think.
Well, no, the album came out in 2016. So I'm gonna bang the gavel and allow it.
Okay,
fair.
Okay, so yeah, Am I Wrong? Anderson .Paak. It's a great song. I mean, you got it's just fun. Like and Malibu, I need to listen to re-listen to because it's summer. I want something to feel good to. I'll definitely be bumping it like on the way to Pitchfork or like
and in the whip.
Sure, I'll bump it in the whip for you guys. But yeah,
Malibu is one of those albums that like I've listened to it probably 4 times, and I really really enjoyed it every time that I've listened to it. But for some reason, I just never listened to it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the song is fucking incredible. The beat is great. You know, it has a really awesome intro, and then of course the hook. Am I wrong to say if she can't?
It's a good one.
It's like, oh god. And then the Schoolboy Q feature is incredible too. The breakdown into his feature is it's so nice. And also there's like no cursing, so college radio students, if you want to get on the radio, you don't have to do much work. It's all there for you.
Which is what college kids love.
Mm-hmm. But no, as someone who does college radio, that's definitely like frustrating when people curse in songs. It's like, oh, I want to bring this in, but like, there's way too much cursing. You can edit so much, but you know, it's like I remember hearing like last summer like Drake's "My Way" remix on the radio, and like it got censored to shit. Like there was so much like silence and like reversed words. It's like, oh my god, why would you even like? I get it. I get that Drake is really popular, but like you don't have to put everything he does on the radio. Like there's only so much censoring you can do before it becomes like completely unlistenable. But this song, however, is not unlistenable. It's a great song.
I was just gonna say that my local indie station did the exact same thing with King Kunta last summer, and they played it all the time, and it was just like it was like half silence, and it was just disgusting.
But yeah, check it out, Anderson Puck. And my second pick are my two runner-ups. Oh, by the way, so my main song, two runner-ups, is Car Seat Headrest, Unforgiving Girl. So we talked about Car Seat Headrest in the last podcast. We all agreed. Teens of Denial is great. Wait,
we do? No, I actually saw him. Was it Monday?
Yeah,
I saw him with Arthi, and it was fucking great. I was at the NPR show, so if you want to see what I saw, you can look it up. But they were Hold on 1 second. They were fucking annoying because they set up a camera right in the middle in front of the stage, and they also he didn't play any covers, so I'm thinking that because NPR was there, they didn't let him. So fuck NPR, but no, don't fuck NPR because they're great and public radio is an essential thing that we all deserve.
Nice. But not at our Car Seat Headrest shows.
Yes, exactly. But go
what song
watch
did you pick, Matty?
Okay, Unforgiving Girl. I picked Unforgiving Girl off the new album because here's the thing. This song is underrated because Fantana was kind of hating on it. Spectrum Pulse was kind of hating on it. Probably some other reviewer was hating on it. But this song, it is great. All right. Is it a little like kind of cheesy and whatnot? But yeah, but here's the thing. It's like the happiest song on the entire fucking album.
Yeah,
okay.
That breakdown is like my favorite part of the whole album.
People went crazy for that at the show. It was a lot of fun.
Which like the breakdown, like the end part, or like whenever he's like, "Now listen, girl." Yeah.
Now listen, girl. Yeah. Yeah.
No, not that. Sorry, the end part.
That's my favorite part of the whole album.
The little yeah. I think that's actually Will. I was listening to it in the car today. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely Will.
It's hysterical. Like it's so. Rock music is like rarely fun. Like indie rock is rarely funny anymore. That's funny. That was hysterical.
Mm-hmm. Dead Milkmen need to release another classic album. We need some hilarity back in indie rock.
Again, bring comedy back to indie rock. Hashtag put that on Twitter right about now.
Just do it.
We're gonna retweet every person.
Do you know how Twitter works, Matty? Do you know how Twitter works?
Also, hashtag bring the Avalanches back.
Again, they're coming back in like they're doing
hour
an interview.
45 minutes.
Yeah, I think,
hour 45 minutes.
Yep. But yeah, Unforgiving Girl. It's a lot of fun. It's a great song. Also, the part you're talking about, AJ, is actually like I feel like that's the part that I kind of cringe at, but also it's like, oh, but I kind of relate to this a little bit too because
it's endearing.
That situation.
It's endearing.
Situation. Endearing. Yes, that's a good word. But yeah, Car Seat Headrest, Unforgiving Girl. Great song. Go listen to it. It's my second song of the summer. And for my third track, it was hard to pick a song from this artist to pick, but I decided like, okay, this is the one I want to go with because here's the thing. Summer, is related to happiness and sunshine and but here's the thing. It's sad boy season still, okay? It's sad boy. It's been sad boy season since James Blake dropped, okay? It's been sad boy season since like February for me, okay? So I need like a song that feels it's a little sad, okay? And this song kind of comes close. Kate Trinida get together featuring Aluna George and Goldlink. I was deciding between this song, Light Spots, track Uno, and Once Me. By the way, 99.9%, great album. Go listen to it. A lot of really, really fun electronic music. That's kind of hip hop inspired. And this is a song I went with because it's kind of like, it's a little vibey. It's low key, It's down there. All right, it's cool. Aluna George is great on it. Her vocals on the hook and whatnot are just absolutely amazing. Goldlink comes through the very solid feature. The beat is really nice. It's K-Trina, so yeah. That's all I gotta say. The album's great. I feel like this. I'm kind of realizing now maybe this main topic wasn't the best idea. Is it? I shouldn't say this in the middle of the podcast.
Well, it's too fucking late.
It's too late.
You done did it, boy.
It's too late. K-Tranda, Together, good song. Go listen to it. Yeah, I feel like there's other ones you guys can give me more discussion on, because I know AJ's, we're going to have a lot of discussion for this one.
Yeah, so I'll just hop right on. When I was given the song topic of this, when I was given the topic song of the summer, someone asked me this like recently earlier before, and I tried to think like, when I hear like song of the summer, I think like it's the same way I kind of think of like song of the year, and that I need something that's sort of all encompassing and like almost definitely not the best is not the criteria I look for when I think kind of like ubiquitous or something like most people could agree on. And I think the first two that I've picked fit that category, and then I've got a third dark horse candidate that's like my personal, I think probably going to be favorite. And the first one I have is obviously All Night off of Coloring Book, which I think is definitely like, I don't want to say anything off of Coloring Book's like underrated, but Coloring Book is getting a lot of praise thrown at it, and not a lot of praise is getting thrown at this song. Like, I see a lot of other songs being talked about more than this one, when I think this one is a clear standout, like the clear standout on the album to me. It's like super, super fun, and I love what Chance the Rapper does on this track, and it's painfully short. I think it's not even 3 minutes long, and it's barely 3 minutes long, and it's just like a bummer, because like this thing is a slapper, and Chance is funny on it, Chance is charismatic on it. There's nothing obnoxiously self-righteous about this track. It's got a really good hook, and yeah, I mean, All Night is great. Definitely my favorite song off Coloring Book. And like
I think that was actually going to be my song in the summer too, but I had other songs also that I chose. But I definitely agree. It's a banger. It's so danceable. The beat is amazing. Chance's raps are a lot more carefree than he feels on the rest of the album. And it's just a really fun, dancey track that's like perfect for Song of the Summer.
And then the other one I have is another nice mainstream rap song for you from Mr. Drizzy himself. We got One Dance by Drake. And now this was a single for Views, an album that sucks. And I didn't like it when it originally had came out, but then everything changed when I heard it in the club one night. And I was like, yep, okay, I understand One Dance now. And I was like, this song's going to be fucking huge. Like, it already is fucking huge, but I was like, I understand why the song is fucking huge. And like, yeah. It's a banger. It's a banger. That's all I have to say, really, about One Dance. I'm sure everyone's heard it. I'm sure everyone has their opinion on it. It's a banger. It's going to be all over the radio. It's going to be all over commercials, sporting events, theme parks, festivals, all that good stuff.
Bar and bat mitzvahs.
Bar and bat mitzvahs, and that's what makes it. It's going to be in the sermon on Sundays. And that's what makes it a candidate for...
Can we talk about One Dance, though? I want to say something. So I listened to Pop Style when it came out, and I was like, oh, that's all right. But I didn't listen to One Dance because I heard a lot of like really mixed things about it, because a lot of people were shitting on it on like Twitter, and I'm like, I'll wait to check this out. Then I randomly listened to it, and I was like, oh wow, this is actually really good. Why was everyone hating on it? It's like a fantastic pop song, or a fantastic like pop rap song. Like the dance hall elements are really cool. It's really like it's just fun to listen to. You know, it's like it's probably hot take. It's probably the best song on Views. I will say.
I honestly think I agree.
It's either that or the song with Rihanna is my favorite on that
album.
Hotline
Bling doesn't count because like it was just thrown out there.
It's weird that this song went number one, but not Hotline Bling, because Hotline Bling was fucking like huge.
It's just timing. It's all timing.
Yeah. I think Still was my favorite song on the album. Still Here.
Oh, can I read a tweet real quick?
I'm probably in the
sorry, Ethan.
Oh yeah, I'm probably in the minority for thinking Still Here is the best song on the album.
So here,
whatever.
Which one is that?
It's just the generic Drake sounding, or the generic sounding Drake song.
Wait, what is it?
It sounds like it should be on a different Drake album, which is why I like it. It sounds like it could be on any of his other albums.
Yeah. It's the one right before Controlla.
Yeah, I think so.
Controlla. But this song also is kind of responsible in part for bringing us that like fake Jamaican Drake meme, which is one of my favorite things right now. That meme is so good. I love that. So like the bad man thing.
Real bad man thing.
So real bad man thing. So fun. Like I love that. Like everything about that meme is just dumb and like ignorant, but holy shit, it's a good meme. That's a good meme.
God. Also, a tweet about One Dance.
Can we get that isolated? Can we get HJ saying that's a good meme?
Just the sound clip. Oh, that's a good meme.
Oh god.
Okay, everyone. 3, 2, 1.
That's a good meme.
That's a good meme.
God damn it, fucking Matty.
Are we singing at the same time?
One. No,
we're
just
isolating
AJ.
it so we can get a nice sound clip of just me.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
That's a good meme.
Okay, we got it.
All right,
Okay.
you can use that in your ASMRs.
Okay.
All right, this next song.
Hold on. I wanted to. Okay, one dance comes on, you automatically in a committed relationship with the person in front of you for 4 minutes. That's a good tweet from Dace Who's Nice.
Matty,
Continue.
that's called rape. That's called rape.
No, consensual. Committed relationship.
Consensual relationship. Okay, that's
My personal favorite song. I think that's going to persist for the summer for me. This song is the personification of the sunglasses emoji. It's Time Slow by Bad Bad Not Good featuring Sam Herring and Future Islands on the Hook. Sam Herring is a goddamn classical performer. There aren't as many performers as there are in indie pop rock music that right now as there used to be. Sam Herring is a goddamn class act, my man. He can do it all. He can scream, he can sing, he can rap, he can croon, he can dance. He's a performer with like incredible stage presence, and on every single song Sam Herring is on, you fucking know it. And he comes on this Bad Bad Not Good album with a jazzy groove, drops the sickest hook, uses his growly voice, and this thing just fucking got me so hyped up for the new Bad Bad Not Good album. Like, I'm going to listen to this song all summer, probably all year. The new Bad Bad Not Good album is probably going to be one of my favorite albums of the year. And just goddamn.
You haven't downloaded the leak?
No, I haven't downloaded the leak.
I have it downloaded, but I haven't listened to it.
I'm sure it's going to be good. It comes out like really soon, I think. So
Does it?
Yeah, July like 20th.
That's
I think.
not really soon. That's like still 2 months.
Well, I'm used to waiting for the Avalanches album, so I can deal.
I'm a Rens fan, so I get you, and I'm also an Avalanches fan.
I was just I just want to bring up the Avalanches as much as I possibly can because we're less than 2 hours away from a new song.
I'm so excited.
July 8th it comes out.
Okay, that's not too far away, but
Yeah. Cool. Then those are the songs. I think the first two are pretty good candidates for like mainstream pop crossover appeal, like what might actually be, because like I feel like there is an identifiable. You got to wait till the end of the summer, obviously, but I feel like as far as the mainstream like lexicon goes, I feel like there is a quantifiable song of the summer.
that would be awesome. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
I'm trying to think of what 2015's was. I'm just blanking on it, but like there was
could have been Hotline Bling. Was that?
That came out.
Hotline Bling was like July. That was July, but it really hit in the fall. Was really when it like came into spring, came into
the music video. Like I loved Hotline Bling like the second it came out, and I was going on and on and on about it. And I remember just like I remember kind of being in an echo chamber, being like, "Holy shit, Hotline Bling! This song is fucking insane." And then when the music video dropped, is when everyone was like, "Yeah, that's the song." Because I went on this huge Twitter rant. I was like, "Hotline Bling is vaporwave inspired, you guys. Like we out here. Drake made a vaporwave inspired song." And people were like, "Okay, cool, whatever. It's a fucking throwaway track. No one gives a shit." Then the music video came out, and it was like, "Yup, we're in. Like we like this."
Mm-hmm. I was jerking that song when it came out too, AJ. Okay.
I'm not saying I was the only one.
We were the Hotline Bling boys. Okay.
Yeah, we boys.
Oh god.
I think All Night really has a chance at becoming Chance's like first hit. Like not he's super popular obviously, but like he hasn't had a hit song. Yeah, because I think it definitely could be his like first hit.
No Problem's already the one, but if they push All Night as a single, give it a video or a remix. Yeah, hold on. Potential alert here. A nice longer remix of All Night with like a crazy feature or something. That'd be nuts. That'd be song of the summer right there. Give it a video remix. Boom.
Kendrick feature. I'm calling it.
Also, it's actually kind of funny that like we put like it was like K-Tranda and then we talked about All Night because K-Tranda actually produced that track.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Shout out. Now I have to listen to that album. So okay, I love the production on that song.
So yeah, before we go to Jake real quick for his songs of the summer. Ali was supposed to be on this podcast originally. He had to jump out because he wasn't feeling good. But I want to give a very quick shout out to the song that he put down. Whitney, Golden Days, really good like melancholy pop song that's really like it gives me a little bit of like a country-ish vibe, and it's really nice. I actually have the CD that they're coming out with like Friday. Got it early because I work at a college station. Gonna listen to it probably tomorrow. But yeah, Jake, what are your songs of the summer?
All right. I kind of did a bad job of picking songs of the summer because none of these are, I don't know. They don't really have like a summery aesthetic, I guess. They're just kind of the songs I'm going to listen to most during the summer. My first song is, it's actually really strange, and I would highly advise against playing it at any sort of public summer gathering / party situation. But I love it anyway because I'm fucking weird. and it's probably what I've been listening to most. Anyway, the song is called Eggshell by Adult Jazz, which I've been kind of championing a lot recently. The best way I could describe this band, like using a genre descriptor, would probably be like art pop or something. Their debut album, Just Is, was this kind of weird indie rock album, but they just released a new album, EP project thing called Earrings Off, and it's like different in every way imaginable. They pretty much abandoned any of the traditional rock stuff they had in their debut album and replaced it with this really weird experimental pop style. Like the whole album is really dense and filled with like these odd loops and samples and off-kilter rhythms and vocal manipulation, but it's actually really cool. And this track, Eggshell, the one that I'm supposed to be talking about right now, is probably the highlight of the project for me. And it basically takes all that stuff I was talking about and just adds like a bunch more layers of density. Like there's like pitch-shifted vocals and there's like these cool horn arrangements at the end. Yet despite all of that, it's like not too cluttered and it's still insanely catchy and fun to listen to. I thought the album was kind of disappointing just because it was so short, but this track in particular is spectacular, and I've been listening to it like a ton ever since it came out, and I will likely continue doing so for the remainder of the summer because it's a good song
I think
fun.
Yeah, because you posted in here earlier, and I listened to it. It reminded me a lot of like Animal Collective, you know?
Yeah, I can definitely see a lot of those comparisons. Like it's super weird and it's like really dense, and I don't know, it's like kind of like this weird manipulated take on pop music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like Animal Collective if they didn't suck. Am I right?
Yeah.
I was actually gonna make that. I was gonna make that joke. It's like Animal Collective if they were good.
Fuck off! Fuck off!
I love fucking with you on that one. Okay, anyways, continue, Jake.
All right. Well, that's all I really have to say about that song. So my next song of the summer would be "Golden Chords" by none other than the freak himself, Deacon.
I was wondering if there's another artist called The Freak.
The Freak,
no. Released a song called Golden Chords.
And I was like, I've never heard of The Freak.
It took me a second. I'm like, the Golden Chords. That's a song by Deke the Freak. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, I know. I noticed Matty got it because he put it in the playlist.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's the opening song on his latest album, Sleep Cycle. I don't know if any of us have talked about it on the podcast. I think we were going to do one, and then we didn't.
It's a really good album.
But yeah, good album. Yeah, this track.
About how fucking good it is. Yeah.
Yeah, this track is just. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, I just think it's a beautiful little track, and I don't know. I'm gonna have a hard time articulating myself about it, other than just saying that it's really nice. But I mean, I don't know. It's kind of this like sparse little acoustic piece, and there's a lot of atmosphere. It kind of reminds me of something like off of just from the atmosphere alone, kind of like a campfire song vibes from it, just because like. You can hear like outside noise coming from like the background, and yeah,
just like on this podcast.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's an intentional aesthetic. We're like a lo-fi atmospheric podcast.
Here's one thing, just one quick thing. I love Sleep Cycle. I love Deke. Great album, fantastic album. Golden Chords is a great song. I just don't get how it seems like I'm the only person on the entire planet who thinks Just Am is like the mind-blowing highlight of this album that everyone says Golden Chords is. Just Am blows my fucking mind and brings me to tears all the time. And like Golden Chords is good, don't get me wrong. But Just Am? Holy fucking shit is all I have to say.
AJ, I'm on the same boat except with Footy. I fucking love Footy. That speaks to me, like on the absolute chaos of that song is like that's me. But Golden Chords is great.
I guess what I mean is when people bring up Sleep Cycle, they're like, Sleep Cycle by Deacon was actually a really good album. And then people go, yeah, Golden Chords Song of the Year, Golden Chords Song of the Century, blah, 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 blah. I see it on the sub all the time. And I'm just like, guys, Just Am is a fucking transcendent experience.
Yeah, and I was just going to say one more thing because I need to shoehorn this in here. But I really like his vocal delivery. It's like super delicate. And I was going to draw a comparison to Phil Elverum, which is something that I have to do like daily. Otherwise, I just go crazy.
I can see that.
Have to leave his mouth every day.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. But it's kind of like he's not like a super technically proficient singer, but he's like just on key enough for it to sound good with the music. But it's also just like regular enough to sound really genuine and honest. And yeah, that's all I had to say.
Did you guys see Phil Elverum's haikus on his Twitter?
Absolutely, every day.
Oh my God, they were best Twitter in indie.
Yeah, he still does those like occasionally. Like that's all he tweets anymore is just haikus.
No, I feel like I've seen him tweet other things. Or is it you're the expert? So
yeah, I mean he probably does. It's I feel like he's been on this haiku kick though for a while. I don't know. He used to do these. He used to have like a comic book strip that he'd post online, and they were really funny. Then he stopped doing it, and I think he instead started investing his energy into making like funny tweets, which is fine with me. So yeah, Phil Elverum is like the best musician in indie music and also the funniest. So.
This is a little known fact, but I just found this out. That 7 songs is actually a free album. I didn't realize that. You can get it on freemusicarchive.org. So just as a PSA, go grab that. And it's actually under Creative Commons, so you can use it in a movie you might be creating, as I did.
Oh.
So, yeah, he released it Creative Commons, so that's super cool.
Oh, also,
and oh yeah, go.
Haiku. It seems unlikely that you'll ever read the words Mount Erie sex tape. That's a haiku by Phil Elverum. Okay, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, that's okay. That's all I had to really say about the Deke. I don't know if anyone has anything else to say about.
I interviewed
just
Deacon.
leak it.
We have an interview with Deacon on the Indieheads podcast channel. You guys can check out. It's like a 30-minute long interview. Originally, it was supposed to be like cut down to 5 minutes, but there is a 5-minute version of it. But I recommend the full thing.
Did he cry? Did he cry
in the interview?
Yeah.
No. What the fuck are you talking about?
He strikes me as the kind of person who, like, if you talk to him for more than like maybe 35 minutes, he's just gonna end up crying.
I mean, he was getting really he got into like again. I started off with like a joke question about pavement, like, you know, how's pavement impacted your life, and he gave me like
and he just starts crying.
No, he gave me like a 5-minute long. He gave me like a 2 or 3 minute long answer that was like really nice, and I'm like, oh my god, that was like a joke question. I didn't mean to like. I mean, that's
that
great.
Would be Jeremiah. Like you start an interview with Jeremiah about pavement, and he would start crying. I feel like.
Yeah, Jeremiah. I bet at Pitchfork we're gonna catch Jeremiah crying at least once when we go to Pitchfork.
I'll probably cry at Pitchfork at least once. I cry a lot during like live music. I saw fucking God. I don't remember what show it was, but like I cried at a really weird show, and I was like, that was odd. I should not have done that.
Oh god. All right. So yeah, I think you had another song on here, Jake.
Yes. So yeah, last song of the summer is the opening track to the new Sturgill Simpson album, A Sailor's Guide.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not see this on here. Fuck yes.
I was gonna do the last song called Arms, but I actually like this song better. I think it's called Welcome to Earth, Polywog in parentheses.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna change the playlist now because I had the I called Arms on the playlist. But continue.
But yeah,
the drop on this song is unreal.
Yeah, it's unreal. Yeah, I talked about his last album, Meta Modern Sounds and Country Music, on the last podcast I was on a couple weeks ago, and I basically said that I thought the album was super intriguing and dynamic, and it pulled a lot of influence from really cool places, and that I hadn't listened to A Sailor's Guide to Earth that much yet, but now I have. And I think I actually might like it better than Meta Modern Sounds.
Yeah, when I had my folk rock radio show last year, like we would play songs from Sturgill Simpson every single show, every single one.
Yeah, and like, yeah, I don't know, like, I'm trying to figure out how to like why I like the song so much. Like the first half of the song is just like this weird slow. I don't know, it's not weird. It's just like a slow piano violin led. It's like a ballad basically. Then halfway through, it just comes in with the horns and the electric guitar, and it's like jazzy and soulful, and I don't know, it's so cool how he's able to do so many different things and still be country music.
Yeah, this album is this is a good fucking album. You just reminded me.
Yeah, and I'm seeing him live in like a few days with my dad.
I wanted to go, and tickets are sold out. Womp womp.
Yep. And I was saying, because my dad's not like into any sort of indie music at all, like, and he was the one who actually introduced me to Sturgill Simpson. And so I'm kind of curious as to like what the demographics are going to be at the concert. It's going to be like half hipster white kids and half like backwoods hillbilly. I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, it will be interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. So Ethan, songs of the summer. What are your choices?
I agree with AJ on All Night and One Dance, but I have other songs I'm going to pick out. I think LA Girls is a fucking great summer track. A lot of the White Album is a good summer album. Summer Lane and Drunk Dory would be good, but I think this is probably the most just fun, beachy. Probably because also the music video I think takes place at the beach.
I'm glad you brought this up because like I remember when we did our discussion for the White Album, we were like, this is such a good summer album. Like I can't wait.
I remember listening. I don't think I was on that, but I remember listening to that and agreeing.
You were on that.
Yeah, you were on that.
Oh right, I was on that.
It was like a 6-man podcast.
I think all of us were there.
I was on that. But yeah, I think it's a great summer album. I think some of the songs are pretty shitty, but the songs that are good are good summer songs. And LA Girls, I think, is probably on the more catchy side, the more fun, laid back side, but still more enjoyable than some of what would be considered laid back Weezer. Yeah, it's a really fun. There's not much you can say about the track. It's not that complicated of a track. It's just a really fun pop rock song. Like That Dog's Minneapolis from 1997. That should be 2016 song of the summer.
Up. Jesus Christ.
I feel like I'm being Jeremiah tonight with that.
Yeah, we haven't had Jeremiah.
I picked something obscure from the 90s, and I won't shut the fuck up about it. Yeah, you're being like Jeremiah.
I feel like, hold on. I feel like in the past, like 4 or 5 episodes, I think I've been on the past 4 or 5, but like in the past 4 or 5, Jeremiah's always come up in just like a giving him shit manner, but we love him. We give him so much shit because we love him.
Yeah,
he's inescapable.
Yeah, we should say that we love Jeremiah. We're going to Pitchfork with him in July.
We also do this every time though too. Is that like we'll
apologize.
We'll make a joke about him and then I'll be like, no, but we actually love Jeremiah. But like it's just a ritual at this point. Is that we got to make fun of him and then reiterate the fact that we love him.
And he's not even on here to defend himself either. He hasn't been on the podcast in like
nope.
a few
He hasn't
months.
been on to.
Ever.
He wanted to be on the Coloring Book cast. And
are you sure he was ever a part of the podcast? Like, are we certain about that, or is he just like this kind of like ethereal presence?
who just hops on?
Sure.
Yeah, he's.
Shit. You got me thinking now. I don't know. But yeah. I mean,
okay.
Jeremiah, man, what a character. I think he was coming in the chat today. He was talking about like his. Should we talk about this?
He got bug bites on his feet.
Oh yeah, he got 50 bug bites on his feet. Oh yeah, coloring book. We should say that. Why? What was it again? Oh, the coloring book part. Oh yeah, because we just like that was the one. That was the one we were gonna do, but for some reason we didn't do it because I think Jeremiah would have just gotten so mad at us for being negative about that album. He would be like, no, no.
Well, remember what happened? You, me, and Will were doing a podcast, and like it wasn't the topic. We had it as listened to, and Jeremiah was like, "No, please just don't talk about that album. Like, I don't want to deal with. I want to have you guys out there voicing your opinions about Coloring Book on the internet." And we were like, you know what? That's fair. I don't even really want to talk about it. And then like we did restrict ourselves. Like I think we brought it up once, like referenced it, and then we're just like, okay, whatever, we're done.
And then we had a late night shitting on it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we shit on it for like 5 minutes, and then it ended up being me shitting on Channel Orange, which like was an act.
I'm still mad about. It's a classic. It's a classic. I'm sorry, Ethan.
I mean,
Fleet boxes aren't Urban Outfitter core.
But my other song, talking into the mic, what is Colleen Green? You could have been up. That's the song title. I just wasn't subtly cut off the call. I basically tried to listen to this EP like 3 times, and I kept like I started it, and then I got like halfway into this song, and then I stopped, and then I kept So I've listened to this song like 4 times more than any other song in the EP, and it's a very good EP in general. For fans of pop punk music, minimalist, like drum machine, just sort of guitar music, female vocals. Any of those things appeal to you, you should check this Colleen Green out. But so basically, this is the song I'm most familiar with, and it has a pretty fucking awesome like guitar part, and it's super upbeat, unlike some of the other songs on this album. And the chorus is fucking catchy when she's like, "You could have been which is really fucking catchy. And the whole there's a couple others like I think it's called "You Belong with Me." That might just be the chorus. Let me clarify that.
The Taylor Swift song cover?
No.
Man, I'm still so sad that Calvin Harris and Taylor Swift broke up, guys. I'm not over it.
So
at least we'll probably get a new Taylor Swift album out of it.
That's true.
Yeah, we're actually going to get... Can we talk about for a hot sec that we're going to get like probably the best Taylor Swift album out of this, potentially?
Yes.
Okay, that's You Belong With Me is not a song on the Colleen Green album. But there's other good songs. Disco. Between the lines, but I think You Could Have Been is probably You Could Have Been
so it's even more obnoxious.
I love Colleen Green. I'm hopefully
I love Colleen Green too. I was kidding.
I'm hopefully seeing her in a couple weeks, with Childbirth, who are another fucking great band. And this, I don't know, this whole EP is just a good summer fun EP. She's as bitter as always, and as sarcastic as always. Would you agree with me that she's sarcastic, or is it more like she has a? I wouldn't say sarcastic.
It's the Courtney Barnett thing where it's I'm being witty? Funny, but witty, but not witty's witty's a derogatory term these days.
Yeah,
witty in a non-derogatory way.
And I don't. It's less witty than Courtney Barnett. It's more just like.
Would you say dry?
Dry, yeah.
Tongue in cheek.
Tongue in cheek. That's it. Tongue in cheek. That's good. It's very tongue in cheek and fun, it's a great EP. Any song off of this could be a song of the summer, but I just chose that one because I've listened to it the most, and probably it's the most like immediately catchy and fun. But yeah,
nice.
And that's it.
Are you gonna talk about That Dog again, or are you good?
I mean, That Dog are a fucking great band, and Minneapolis is like their big hit, but That Dog is an underrated band.
That wasn't an invitation for you to talk about them. That was saying, are you going to talk about them again? It was a yes or no question.
I took it as an invitation, and it doesn't matter what your intent was. I took it as an invitation, so I'm talking about them. That Dog are a criminally unappreciated band from the 90s that if you like Colleen Green, they're actually pretty similar. Very pop focused, female vocals, a lot of songs about boys, and problems with boys.
My favorite subject.
Cute boys.
Cute boys.
Cute boys.
Ethan, you know who my favorite criminally underrated band from the 90s is?
Pavement.
These Nuts. Ha!
Jesus Christ. Mine's actually Bofa.
Mine is...
Bofa?
Okay, but no. If you like the Rentals...
Yeah, have you guys not heard of Bofa?
What's Bofa?
No. Yeah. 1994, Bofa, their debut album. Check out Bofa D's Nuts.
Good
How'd you
joke.
fall for that?
How'd you fall for that?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Hold on a second. I can't believe I forgot to put this in the news or my song of the summer. But Death Grips, they just dropped a new song with.
Yeah, holy fuck! Hold on, I want to tell a story. This is a great story. Jeremiah and Matty and I were playing Overwatch Game of the Year 2 days ago, I think. And Matty's like, I'm going to go take a shower, guys. I'll be back in like 20 minutes. Me and Jeremiah finish a game. I like go on Twitter for a hot second. It's like, and ever since 2014, my reaction to new Death Grip stuff has just been like, oh, fuck you. So I see a new Death Grip song, I go, oh, fuck you. And then I listen to it, and it's it's crazy. It's so good.
And then I come back from the shower. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And you guys are like, "Death Grips, they dropped a new song." And I'm like, "What? Fuck you."
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. Fuck you guys.
Where was this song on? Yeah, where was this on Bottomless Pit? Is all I have to say.
But yeah, it's fucking great. It's bizarre as hell, which is saying something for Death Grips. It's bizarre even for Death Grips. It's very like, I got some Hot Heady vibes off of this. You know, like when I listen to Hot Head, it's like, oh, the song is very similar to Hot Head. I assumed that was the direction that Bottomless Pit was going to take. And it wasn't. And I was like, oh, I still like Bottomless Pit, but it's like, oh, this could have been better. But hopefully they drop a beat. They do actually, I was going to say they do a Beach House on us, but Death Grips did it first. They did it in 2012. Money Store, No of Deep Web, same year.
Yeah, it's weird how that's called doing a Beach House when, like, plenty of groups have released 2 albums in 1 year.
But it was a surprise.
I think it's Beach House because it's the most recent example of like a big band doing it. Like, because I think Deer Hunter did it. I mean, again, bands in like the 60s and 70s did it all the time too. They released albums like within months of each other. Like I think Scott Walker did it in like 69 with like Scott 3 and Scott 4.
So anyway, if you like Velocity Girl, The Rentals, Unrest, Black Tambourine, any of those bands with mostly female vocals, you'll like That Dog, and you'll like the song That Dog from Minneapolis. We're going to get it back on the charts. We're going to get it to be the song of the summer of 2016.
I did see it on the Billboard.
Yeah, it's rising. It's rising, but we got to get it there to the number one. Yeah.
Nice.
You mean on the Billboard bottom 100, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
Oh God. So yeah, that is our podcast this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I
hope you find us on the iTunes bottom 100 podcasts.
Yep. Again,
I feel like that would be a notable achievement, though.
It would be.
Considering like a podcast is made every like 5 seconds.
Yeah, like to be one of the least subscribed ones, I feel like has to be like one of the ones that like no one has literally like even the people who made it like don't even check the quality. Like just go like, yep, fucking throw that up there. Like it would be a notable achievement to be the absolute bottom.
Okay. Yep.
Okay,
So let's aim for that.
Yeah,
So
we're
yeah,
aiming for the bottom.
So yeah,
Everybody
subscribe.
unsubscribe, unfollow us.
Yep, exactly.
Stop listening.
Go listen to Jake.
Unlike, unshare, and unsubscribe.
Yep, exactly. So that's about it. Again, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter.
Unlike us on Facebook, unfollow us on Twitter.
Stop it, Ethan. I'm trying.
We're gonna make that bottom. We're getting that bottom rank.
Oh God. Oh yeah, I should mention the copyright strike. So do we want to?
Oh yeah.
No, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that very quickly.
Yeah.
So YouTube, when they sent us the email, when I sent in my counter notification to get the copyright strike removed, they said that the IFPI had to respond by May 26th. Otherwise, all the penalties to our account would be removed, and everything would be good and back to normal. So it's been about 6 days since they were supposed to respond, and we have gotten nothing. And our channel has still got a copyright strike. We still can't upload like longer than 15-minute videos. We can't put custom thumbnails. Can't make stuff unlisted, etc. So essentially,
fucked up.
So yeah. So the
Fuck
podcast.
you, Drake.
Fuck you, Drake. Exactly. So for now, the podcast is going to be staying on my personal channel until we get this
And
resolved.
on iTunes.
Oh yeah, and
it's
on
always
iTunes.
up there.
Oh, and on iTunes too. Hopefully, I sent an email to YouTube today, but we'll probably have to send another one. So.
You replied to like their like.
Here's the it was copyright at YouTube, so I mean they still look through it, you know.
Hopefully, but it also is like a bot. It looked like from the email we got.
I mean, it is.
Hopefully
it is a bot, but who knows? So yeah, hopefully get that resolved as soon as possible. Fuck the IPI. Fuck Drake. Fuck Views. It's a fucking trash album, and most importantly. Fuck YouTube. Fucking YouTube. Fucking this copyright.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah. Where's the fair use, man? Where's the fair use?
You know, we need fucking Fupo, like, because like H3 Productions with it, he's getting sued right now by a fellow YouTuber because it was just fucking bullshit. And I didn't and like so much support has gone out for like Ethan and Ela. That's fucking incredible. And they had the GoFundMe that like went through their like 100,000 goal within a day, which is incredible. However, Ethan, Ela, and H3H Productions are huge. They're like they're really, really popular, like everywhere. And we're just a tiny little podcast. And so we don't really have that support system. We don't really have we can't put up a GoFundMe to get this thing removed, or we don't have a support system. So yeah.
And there was absolutely no reason for Drake to
What
come
the
after us.
fuck is going on?
Yeah, AJ, your mic just glitched out like crazy.
I was doing a death
Stop
thing.
talking, AJ.
It's still doing it. You sound like you're on like a sample from like down there on like Baby Terror.
I said I was doing a Death Grips thing.
Oh,
So it's gone now. Were you doing it intentionally?
No, accidentally.
okay.
That's odd then.
But what were you trying to say, AJ?
I was saying there's no reason for them to come, like for that to have happened. Like we used like a couple seconds, really. It was probably automated.
It was 16 seconds.
Yeah,
It was probably automated.
It said
wasn't
manual
automated.
strike. It said manual strike.
Yeah. So most
Which is
likely,
fucked up.
the IPI was. The thing is, the IPI has like a real like hate boner for YouTube because I was actually reading like Pitchfork. They put up a good article today about like streaming services and like the future of them and whatnot. You know, going from like free to paid. And they were mentioning, and the IFPI got a mention from them how they're really like they have a fucking hate boner for YouTube and they really want to go after them. So fuck you, IFPI. You guys are fucking cunts. And
not using that word anymore.
Here's the thing. I think they deserve it though. I think they deserve it, Ethan. Do they deserve it?
Just call them fucking fucks. Just say that.
Okay, the IFPI, they're fucking fucks. Okay, you guys are trash. Get the fuck out of here. Get off YouTube. Y'all don't know. Okay, y'all don't know the fair use laws. Okay, we fell under
I like
fair
the
use.
clapping too. The
We
clapping
fell
was good.
under fair use. Okay.
WTFU. WTFU. No one's
WTF.
joining in my channel.
WTF U2? Where's the fucking U2? Where's that? Where's Bono?
You
Guys, we
talking,
gotta find Bono. We don't know where he is.
you talking you two to me?
You talking U2 to me?
Oh God.
If we had a fraction of the listeners that podcast had, oh my God, I would.
That podcast isn't. I love that podcast.
Oh God. Okay, we need to wrap things up. Okay, hopefully you guys enjoyed
Yeah,
listening
we
to this
do.
podcast. Hopefully we can get back to a weekly schedule. What is our next AJ, do you know what our next episode's gonna be?
Our next episode is going to be The emo spectacular of the year. We're going to be talking about the Hotelier's goodness, and it's going to be probably 45 minutes. 45 minutes of high velocity circle jerk action. So get ready for that.
Thing is, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there though, so I'm here to stop the circle jerking.
We're gonna tape Matty's mouth shut and put him in the corner. How many times do you listen to the album, Matty? Once?
I listened to it once. I listened to it more whenever because we're waiting for Will to get back to do that.
Yeah,
episode.
bare minimum requirement to be on the goodness discussion. 25 listens. 25 listens.
Thing is, AJ, I'm the host of the podcast, so I'm gonna say no. But hopefully, you guys enjoyed listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hope you listen to goodness 25 times by then.